What is your brand? We've talked a lot about how to put what matters to your brand. What is your brand? Let's talk about that now, right? And as Tosca say, right, this is, the second resource, Hema, is use science. I'll put those details later in the session, okay? But think of yourself as a marketeer. You start to sell yourself. And there's a saying they say in marketing, if you don't know that you are in sales, you suck at sales, okay? And so knowing that you are always selling yourself is super important. And that applies to entrepreneurs, that applies to every one of you students. So knowing what your brand is, how authentic is it, how consistent are you, is super critical. You got to ask yourself what makes you special. How does your strengths differentiate you from others? As Tosca was saying, making friends, empathetic, taking initiative. Do not just go with the cliches. Use what's called as the STAR format: situation, task, action, results. What was the situation? If you're going to tell me I'm empathetic or stuff, what was the situation? Set it up, prologue it, okay? What was the task that you had to do, or what action you had to take, especially, or what you had to motivate your team to do, situation, task. Task meaning how important it was, what was going to happen if that was not done, what are the actions you took, or you inspired in the others, what results came out, and most important, what was the inference?
So part of it is just not trying to do everything, and seeing where you fit, where you're happy to fit. So I like this because I think this is asking all the right questions. What do you think the world needs? So what problems are you noticing in the world? What you feel you're good at? And then ask yourself, what do you love doing? I've described that as where does your energy go? So what do you feel motivated to actually do versus what do you have to force yourself to do? And then maybe less so what you can be paid for, but that might be something that plays into your energy too. But that's maybe less of a priority when it comes to thinking about college.
I mean, this is something which I make my students go through all the time, and Tosca is going to be helping me with this as well, which is as we are working with our rising seniors right now, which is how you can say I want to be a doctor, you can say I want to be a this and that, but if you can't put it in this format for me, it doesn't give me a personal statement for you. So it's something which you could consider as a way to experiment, to put up your personal statement. But it only comes down, this entire thing comes down to these skills. What are your 5 skills? Dimensions. Where did you show your initiative, your drive? How diverse has your experiences been? What's been your contribution to the community? The initiatives that you've taken, and intellectual curiosity. Now I go in a very detailed experiment in a workshop with 30 to 40 different examples. I make my students write like 6 to 8 examples. The goal for us is to come up with those 6 to 10 power stories. What makes this person unique? And once I know that, that's when we start figuring out your supplementals and your personal essays for the UCs and all of that. But that's something which is, if you're wanting to know, I'm happy to go into more details with that. But that's really what makes you special. I mean, it sounds like a very daunting task. What are you special? What are your uniquenesses? But if you can answer some of these questions around your X factor, using some of my sample answers, what my other students have done, you could just pick up and use that as an inspiration. Or you could go to what Tosca is saying, like take a clean slate. This is literally how I started Success Coach. When I said, there's a problem in the world. There's a problem with the college admissions process. There's a problem in high schools. They don't teach. I'm good at really communicating. I'm a good communicator. I'm passionate about it. I've gone through this problem myself. I love working with students, teaching them, and just something which I wish I had gotten from my dad growing up. And that heck, I can actually get paid for it too. So there you go. That's how I got into college admissions business.